In this tutorial you will learn how to do a minimap which will be displayed at the left top corner and will always follow the player's position and keep the player in the center. If you like tutorials like that, just leave a like, and if you want to see more tutorials like that, subscribe to the channel and let's go. The first thing what we need to do is we need to create a canvas layer to the scene. This canvas layer will have a children, which is a margin container. This we use to set the distance between the left and the top side for the map. The margin container has a child, which is a sub viewport container. For every sub viewport, you always need to add a sub viewport container to the scene, which will handle the positioning of the sub viewport, which we use as a map. Say sub viewport, and underneath this sub viewport, we will have a child, which is a texture rect, which will be the texture of our map, which will show us the walls of this world. Underneath this texture rect, we will have a camera 2D. And also underneath this texture rect, we will have another texture rect, which we will use as a single pixel, which will display the player on the map. So the first things what we need to set is this margin container should have a margin on the left and top side. We say 20 pixels, so that we have this border on the left side. This sub viewport will be 200 pixels by 200 pixels. Size to the override we will set to 100 by 100, and size to the override stretch we will set to true. The next thing is this texture rect. We will just rename it. When you write the person directly here, you will also create it as a unique name directly. You don't need to right click it afterwards. So we say minimap, and then we do a few settings here. This is stretch mode, keep aspect. So when we some reason we will stretch the texture rect, that the map as its own texture will never be stretched in a weird way, that one pixel has a higher width than high. Then we have this camera 2D. We'll also rename this to Minimap camera, and also this texture rect we will rename to map layer. And this minimap we have keep aspect, see layout, anchors preset top left, and also texture filter to nearest, that it will be not blurry. This you will just set when you do a pixel art game. When you do higher resolution game, then just keep it to inherit or linear. The camera 2D we will set to a zoom of 2, and the map layer we will just give it a texture, which will be a placeholder texture. We check if it's 1 pixel. It is. We just go down very quickly here. So we have like a placeholder texture. It's like a little purple dot. And that was it with the scene tree. We'll just keep working on the script. We have 5 functions to add. First is the built-in function ready. Here we say pass, and we have the built-in function process, where we also say pass. In process and ready, we'll write the functions later, which we'll write now. The first thing what we need to do is to generate a texture for a minimap. So we have generate minimap, which will lead to void, and there are 2 variables we have to write down now. It's variable new map will be an image, say image dot create, and we have 4 flags here which we need to write inside. So we have the width. This will be the width of your map, and the height of your map. I say for now I just do a width of 10,000 pixels. It's up to how big your map will be, and 300 pixels high. This is like in my case 10,000 tiles width and 300 tiles height. Then we set the mid-maps to false and image dot format RGB8. This is the standard texture or PNG has in Godot, so we will also take this one. The next variable is we will take the wall TileMap positions as an array, which is %wall.get used cells. This version of the map will only works with TileMap layers. So if you want to also display, for example, static bodies or character bodies, then you have to do it somehow in a way like I do it with the player later, but the walls and the background or the air is always displayed from this TileMap layer. So these are the 2 variables we have, and now we just fill the new map. So the new image we just created, we want to fill with a background color. In my case I just go for black and white, so we say new map dot fill, and we just say color dot white. Yeah, if you already built in colors, so you just can choose one of them. So when you write them, you will also see a preview on the right side. I just take the standard white, and then for each wall position which we have on the TileMap layer, we will draw a black pixel. This we'll do this way for wall TileMap position in wall TileMap positions, we say new map dot set pixel. And now we have 3 flags which we need to fill: the X coordinate, the Y coordinate, and the color. So we just say the wall tilemap position dot X, wall tilemap position dot Y, and the color will be black, but you can choose whatever you like. And the last step, what we need to do is we need to set the texture of this minimap to this texture. So we say minimap dot texture equals image texture dot create from image new map. We need to do that because we need to transform the image we just created to be a texture, because you can't just put images as a texture on the texture, right? So this one we just need to call one time and ready. And now we just need 2 more functions. Firstly, set the position of the player on the map and also the position of the camera, which is always follow the player on the map. So we say func player map position, it's the void, and we have to do map player, which is this texture which we just created, dot global position equals player dot global position. So we take this player global position to this world and divide it by 16, and we say minus vector to 0.5 and 0.5. Why we do the dividing by 16? This is simply because of one tile in the real game world, and this one, and on the minimap we display one tile just as 1 pixel, so we need to divide it by the size of a tile which you use in your tilemap layer, and also this minus vector to 0.5. This we do is because the center point or the focus point on a texture rect is differently to this one on the sprite 2D. The sprite 2D, they always starts calculating from the center point, but UI nodes have the start point always the left top side. So that's why we need to set this offset to 0.5 and 0.5. So now we need to call this function in process, and the only thing what we need to do now is to set the position of the map of the camera. So we say func update minimap camera position. We say minimap camera dot position equals %map player dot position. It's that simple. We just want to set the camera's position to the map player position, and we call this here in process also. And when we did everything alright, you have a proper minimap up here, and when you move in the world, camera is always following the player, and you can see the world properly here on the left. If you like tutorials like that, just leave a like and also subscribe to the channel. If you have some ideas for another tutorial, just leave a comment, and I hopefully see you again.